Coconut on hair, take 2. Well, ladies, I wanted to come at you because of the question that Kay had proposed on the video that she did last about the products that she really likes. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk to you about coconut oil is because it's a lauric acid, and the process of making coconut oil is that they take water and the coconut kernel, and it's shredded and mixed together, and this is called the wet process, and that turns it into coconut milk. Now, they allow this coconut milk to go ahead and to settle for about 24 to 48 hours, and then they skim the oil that's on top of it, and that's how you have coconut oil that you see before. Now, coconut oil is great for cooking because it has a very high smoke point. Now, what a smoke point in an oil means is that you could bring it up to a particular temperature without it starting to burn up on itself. Like extra virgin olive oil, great for our hair, but not necessarily good for frying. Peanut oil is a really good high smoke point oil. Coconut oil, so is soybean, but again, from the previous video I was talking about that. Great for culinary purposes. However, though it's used in a lot of hair care products, I find it a bit drying, even in where I live, and I'll get to that a little bit later in this video. Now, coconut oil is a antimicrobial, which means that it will help prevent some of the bacteria growth that you could find on your scalp if you're wearing things like weaves or whatnot, especially if they get wet, and in between the drying time you could go ahead and grease your scalp with the coconut oil as an additional benefit. Hair absorbs coconut oil quite easily, and in doing so it helps locks in that moisture. Now, previously, as I said, enjoy my drawings, this is my little coconut plant because coconut oil responds to temperature. What does that mean exactly? Like I said, it has a very high smoke point. It will go from this room temperature milky color that you see before you to a very clear oil, because once it's heated. And also, let me go ahead and show you here that if you could see on the inside, there's like this gelatinous mass on the inside, and that will run clear if you put that to a hot temperature. Again, it's cloudy at room temperature, clear at a heated temperature, and it becomes rock hard in colder climates. If you put this in the freezer, for example, it will harden up very, very easily, and it will stay that way until you introduce some high heat to it. It's semi-liquid, like I said, at room temperature, liquid and clear at hot temperature, rock solid at cold temperature, which also means, like I like to do when I shower my hair, when I shampoo and condition, and when I'm in the shower, I like to go ahead and to run that nice icy cold water right as I'm finishing, to go ahead and to seal in some of that shine, as we've all heard before through beauticians and books and magazines. Well, if you take cold wet hair and you introduce to it at its cold wet hair state coconut oil, that oil is going to harden on top of your hair and scalp because it's cold. And also, if you live in a very cold environment, it's going to be rock hard and cold, because on the inside of your home you might have the furnace or the heater on, where it could be at this room temperature consistency, but once you go outside, it's rock hard, and it even gives you some of that grayish quality look on top, sitting on top of your head. So I like to thank Sister Slick for her little trial and error using this, because she lives in cold environments. And if I'm not mistaken, so does Kame, so that's one of the reasons why your hair may not respond very well to it. It's because of the climate. I live down here in South Florida. This is great for me. And, it's like in other people around the world where it's very warm. However, I just don't like using it because of how, my work environment does not do very well with oils in my hair, because it will run onto my face, scalp, and etc. I was just curious also to see what are the pH balances of the products that you see before you. I have one coconut water, which is fat-free, 100% natural coconut oil. I have Pure Naked. I love their juices, so when I saw this, I said, And they also boost that this is made from green coconuts. Well, all coconut water comes from green coconuts, so I wanted to see the difference. The only difference that I could see is this one's a little bit more opaque, however, this is way more clear. And also coconut milk and coconut oil. Because the coconut milk, if you let this sit, there'll be oil that rises to the top, and this is how this is made. So let's go ahead and just dip these in here. I love these little test strips, and you could find these, of course, at lovenaturals.com, created by ours truly, Keme, from YouTube. Now, this, I was very happily surprised when I saw this. This has a pH balance of exactly 5.0. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? So if your hair responds to a slightly more the alkaline sebum, meaning that 4.5 to 5.5 that we all have been wonderfully educated by Miss Keme Tube, then this would be a great acidulated product to use when you're making your leave-in conditioner. And this one here, I wanted to see if there was a difference in between the two. And this is still at the 5.0. Isn't that crazy? So there you go. Now, the coconut milk, as we know, regular milk has a pH balance. So should this one. And this is predominantly 6.0. So if we're at a 5.0 and a 6.0, I wonder what the coconut oil is going to be. So let's take a look here at our wonderful coconut oil. And again, since coconut oil is a fat, it does not measure on these pH balance strips because there's no hydrogen ions for the strip to read. So that's the information we learned from the previous video that I've made. So again, there you have it. Coconut water, 5.0, coconut milk, 6.0, and coconut oil is again unreadable. But it gives you a spectrum of how acidic coconut oil is. And if you live in a warm climate, this would be great for you. Thank you for watching, and